My name is Anish. As we mentioned earlier, I'm based out of the UAE, out of Dubai, in lockdown at the moment, like the rest of us, I think. And it's a great opportunity to kind of learn from each other. And I'm really pleased that Namak asked me to present something over here. I look after the Inkjet portfolio for the Middle East and Africa region, the Balkans and the Baltics. So I'm just going to take you through about 15, 20 minutes of presentations of what Xerox is doing in this space and what are the kind of developments we're making. And it's not just about the technology, but everything around it and how we can help our customers do a better job in the market and service the customers. That's me on the thing. Obviously, the video is not working. I do a lot of sharing on LinkedIn. So if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, I'll just let me know where we met or met on this session, and I will allow you to follow me. I share a lot of information regarding Inkjet and new applications and how the market is moving, etc. as well on LinkedIn. From a Xerox point of view, if you go to xerox.com/inkjet, there's a lot of information on there. There's a lot of useful information, application data, market trends, etc. as well on there. So I'm going to just quickly go through some of the trends that we're experiencing, that we're seeing in the market. So as of 2018, there was about 349 billion pages that were printed on Inkjet. By 2023, that's expected to double. It might happen sooner, mainly because of the situation we're facing ourselves in at the moment, where a lot of people want to start printing shorter runs now, rather than printing big runs and putting them in stock. Okay, so that might happen sooner. This data is slightly older now. Because of COVID, I haven't updated it. I haven't got any information at the moment on that. Currently, on the inkjet presses, 60% of the pages that are printed on inkjet presses are transactional documents, like statements, like bills, like informational documents that are required for council tax bills, etc. And 40% are direct mail pages. Direct mail pages is trying to sell somebody some new products or upselling some products to them. Okay, so it's a sales kind of document. By 2023, we expect about 70% of the documents to be printed on Inkjet. 30% of those digital pages will stay on xerography, and the 70% is expected to move to Inkjet. That is the trends we're seeing. This is what we're expecting, and that's, I think, still on track. This was something that came out of Drupa. As you know, Drupa has been cancelled, but they were saying that 64% of commercial printers were indicating that Inkjet is going to grow faster, very fast, and it was going to be a big part of their business as well. So this is the kind of data we look at, and then we decide which is the best way and where to put our investment dollars in to develop products based on that. So why Inkjet? Why is Inkjet becoming so important? We're seeing a lot of transition of xerographic documents coming into Inkjet space. We're seeing a third of those documents coming from the offset printing, and a third of the pages are new pages, new applications where Inkjet has allowed customers to do things they weren't doing previously. Okay, the reason that they couldn't do those things before was, for example, if you wanted to do catalogs and you wanted to do personalized catalogs, you always had to have a trade-off between a large run or an expensive run with xerography. With Inkjet, we have the run costs of offset printing with the flexibility of digital printing. And that's why Inkjet is becoming a nice little sweet spot for a lot of vendors, including Xerox. So a lot of new pages coming in from areas we never saw in the past. Okay, so that's a new kind of development, new area that we're looking at. We're not saying, by the way, when I put that slide up, we're not saying that xerography is going to disappear, offset is going to disappear. All these technologies are going to be complementing each other. Every technology will have its sweet spot in terms of volumes, in terms of applications. Okay, so all these technologies will coexist always. Okay, it might change, the break-even points between them might change. For example, offset might change to 20,000, 30,000, 50,000. Above that is cheaper compared to Inkjet and compared to xerography at 1,000, 2,000, etc. Okay, it will depend on applications. How do we turn Inkjet into opportunity? How do we take that technology, that data, and turn it into an opportunity for customers? So there's two ways. There's two ways of making money. One way of making money is to save some money. When you save money, it goes straight into your bottom line or into your pocket. Or the other way is to get some new applications, transform some applications, bring some new revenue into the business. Okay, so there's two ways to make money. So how do we do that? So first of all, on the cost saving times, we're looking at workflow efficiencies. How can we take a document and make sure that few people touch it, few errors occur, few wastage, and get it out to the customer in a nice, timely manner without waste and overheads, okay? The other thing is to optimize equipment. Instead of having 15, 20 pieces of equipment, you might need 1 or 2, okay? So minimizing the footprint, using the maximum opportunity to capitalize on your equipment you have, and optimize the actual usage of that equipment. And obviously the last thing is to increase productivity. How do you get more getting out of your presses that you have? How do you make your presses work harder than what they're doing at the moment? Okay. And then obviously we'll go into the kind of new revenue side of things, which is grow with new capabilities. So when you migrate to digital, you're allowing yourselves to open up new applications to your market space. How do you start creating personalized catalogs? How do you start creating personalized direct mail documents? How do you start printing book of one? Okay, how do you start printing back order books? All those kind of things. Increase the value of what you're printing. If you're printing 50,000 of a static document, it becomes a commodity. If you start putting value to that document, you can start charging a little bit more and asking those questions. And obviously new levels of service, offering your customers more than just print. Okay, because print is one of the communication tools that we have in our portfolio. Okay. So what does transformation look like? Okay, so for example, if you're in the transactional space, if you're printing statements, if you're printing bills, the area you would look at for a cost down point of view is to do a white paper factory. You do not want to use pre-printed paper, print paper that was printed on offset technology, and then you bring it on a digital monochrome printer to print the variable data. You can put it in white paper with color and mono printing on the same document. You can start enhancing the relationships when you start communicating with customers. So obviously, how do you have to communicate? You have to send a bill to a customer. How can you put some sort of marketing message in that document that you have to send as a government requirement or legislation? How do you put some sort of marketing message so that that document that was costing your company some money becomes into a revenue generating document? Okay, the same thing with direct mail. With books, let's look at the inventory. Why do you need to keep 10,000 books in inventory? Why don't we print what we need when we need it? So if there's a 15, page number 15 has changed, let's print it at that point in time rather than throwing away all the old stock that was in there just because somebody's decided to change 1 or 2 pages inside that document. Okay, so we will look at onshoring rather than getting it printed somewhere in Europe, somewhere in Asia, and shipping it over to Europe. Let's get it printed where we need it on site or on country, onshoring. Catalogs, how do we reduce the mailing costs? Okay, instead of sending a catalog for 300 pages, why don't we send relevant documents or relevant information inside that catalog to those people? So for example, if I was interested in camping, I don't need to know what happens. I don't need to look at the fishing gear that comes in the catalog. I'm only interested in what comes into the trekking or hiking kind of environment. So I don't need a 300-page catalog. I need a catalog which is 30 pages long. Okay, 30 pages. And that 30 pages are all relevant to me. It's got personal information because the vendor knows that my interests are about trekking, not fishing, etc. And then obviously on the commercial print side, we're trying to optimize the print runs. Okay, so certain technologies, like I said earlier, will be definitely suited for digital xerography. Certain applications will be designed for inkjet, and certain applications will be designed for offset. That will always be there. Okay. Oops. So drivers of high value communication. Okay, and I personally think we're in that stage where we are at the perfect time, perfect storm for opportunity. Okay, so we're at this time where everything is happening at the right time. There's a lot of data available. Okay, and there's been a lot of cases. Everybody knows about what Facebook is collecting and Google is collecting, etc. But a lot of independent people are collecting. Independent companies are collecting information about everybody. So there's a lot of data available. There's AI, artificial intelligence. So they can start using artificial intelligence to look at or predict people's buying patterns. Okay, and when somebody knows what you're expecting to buy in the next 6 months, 8 months, and if I can send you a document that says, okay, this is what you want, you might purchase something, okay, because it is relevant to you at that point in time. And the only way we can do those kind of things is have the right communication with the customer, whether it's via print, whether it's via cross media, via web pages, etc. So all these communication things are linking in to create an ecosystem of communicating with the customer. Okay, and obviously the customer's expectations are always getting more and more demanding. So in terms of catalogs, I was just going to quickly concentrate on the catalogs. We've always started with the static catalogs, 500-page catalog. Everybody in the database gets the same catalog, or we start personalizing it. Put a little bit of basics, say if it's for a lady, if it's for a man, different type of content inside it. Or we go omni-channel, or we go triggered mail. Okay, so there's a whole life cycle, and Xerox can help you with this. So printing is obviously one part of it, but the whole omni-channel, cross-media, triggered channeling marketing is part of Xerox as well, and we have solutions and portfolio around that as well. But at the end of the day, when we work with customers or when we work with you, we want to find out, why are you printing this document? What is the intent of printing this document? Is it to generate more money for your company? Is it to generate awareness of what you're trying to promote? Or is it to reduce cost? Let us find out, why are you printing that? And then let us share where we've seen this happen before and how we've helped you or similar customers like yourselves. Okay. So in the legacy model, it always used to be a triangle. It was called the printer's triangle: highest quality, lowest price, or fastest delivery. Choose one or two. Okay, that has changing now. So that is becoming a value, volume, and velocity conversation. Value means whatever I'm communicating with you has to be relevant, has to add value to you. Okay, and you will keep on coming to me as a print provider or as a solution provider. Volume, we can talk from 1 to 1,000,000. Okay, because every single one of those documents could be different, could be unique, could be personalized. And velocity is trying to get those documents out in speed at the right time, so that when it hits the customer's desk, it is relevant at that point in time. Okay. So how can Xerox, okay, heritage help into driving this success? So from a corporate point of view, we have around 12,000 plus active patents, and there's a lot of books written about Xerox and how we didn't capitalize on a lot of opportunity. But there's a lot of opportunity we're capitalizing on now and capitalizing in the past as well. We have 4 global innovation centers, okay, where we're doing a lot of research on inkjet side of things, on inks, on printheads, on equipment, on trying to get machines that can be installed in really extreme weather, etc. We're putting about $1 billion of revenue, investment into R&D, okay, and obviously we're trying to build an end-to-end inkjet solution. We want to build something that is completely developed by Xerox. Okay, so it is a Xerox solution from printheads to equipment to paper to inks to a complete solution given to our customers. Okay, our journey started on the inkjet side in 2007 when we went into the continuous feed with toner devices. We call them continuous feed toner devices. They want inkjet at that point. And then around 2011, we went into the waterless inkjet technology, where we were using wax-based ink. And then in 2013, we bought a company called Impica, and from then on, it's gone forward and forward. We're in 2019, last year, we introduced a product called the Pastoral, which was a complete Xerox-built solution, including the printheads. Okay? So this is our current portfolio. Let me just go to the next slide. Or in fact, I can show you quickly. So if you're looking on the high-end side for the offset migration, we're looking at the Trivo family. For the equipment consolidation side, where you have multiple devices and you want to bring them into one, we will look at the Rialto. And if you're coming from a xerography side of point of view, and you want to keep that cost down of the printed sheet, we will be looking at the Baltoro family. These are just some of the volumes we're looking at. So that on the higher end, the presses can go up to 68 million prints a month of A4 images. Okay, and on the lower end, from 500K to 3 million. So we have a variety of products to suit the customer requirements or your requirements. And again, we're looking at all these different applications as well. So from monochrome books, transactional documents, direct mailing, publications, color books, catalogs, and general commercial print. Okay. So what if you could make a huge impact with a small footprint? One of the things we've noticed in the market is there's a lot of inkjet presses, inkjet providers, inkjet vendors. But one of the things we've noticed is that these presses are huge. Huge, when I say huge, they're easily, the size of half a football field, some of them, going up to those. So we wanted to kind of bring in something that could fit into a xerographic print room without having, additional compressed air, additional environmental factors, etc. So the whole point when we designed this product, we wanted to use low water-based inks. Okay, so water was very low. That allows us to use smaller drying units. That gives us a smaller footprints, faster speeds, and the operational simplicity, including low energy consumption. Okay. And obviously, one of the benefits we have when we're using low water-based inks is we do not require any priming or any coating on paper. Well, if you think about water on paper, it is a bit like putting ink on a tissue paper. As soon as the ink touches a tissue paper, the ink just spreads everywhere. Okay. The point we were trying to make with this software and with this inks is we want to use less water-based ink. So when the ink hits the tissue paper, it doesn't spread everywhere. It sits on the tissue paper, creates a little film of paper, and the ink is more vibrant when you look at it. So that keeps the cost down. It gives you a vibrant image quality, and obviously making sure that the prints are sustainable as well. Okay, can inkjet give offset run for its money? Sure, definitely can. Okay, so one of the things Xerox is doing is we're having our own print heads, our own ink, color management, automation, and process control. If you were to think about an offset process, before you even print your first page or first book or first document, you could have spent 2 or 3 days just creating the artwork, the plates, and you cannot have a finished book till the last page of the document is printed on the offset press. With digital toner or digital inkjet, you can have a finished book coming out one at a time, and you can start supplying them as required. Okay, that's a huge benefit, and that's why inkjet is becoming a big kind of consideration in a lot of the print providers. So these are the kind of applications we're looking at. Okay, the traditional inkjet pages were transactional, as you can see on the left-hand side, but it's moving into new opportunities like direct mailing, catalogs, manuals. Okay, where the money is. So full color with automated routines, quick changeovers, so you don't have to keep on doing one type of job all year round, all year long. You can change them on a daily basis, hourly basis, minute basis if you want. 1 minute you could be printing business cards, next minute you could be printing catalogs, next minute you could be printing leaflets or transactional documents. That's the whole point of this. With inkjet, it's easy. There is no cleanup required. It's a digital process. With Xerox, obviously the inkjet technology is center to it, but around that, there's a lot of things. We can give you marketing automation, the service and support we give you, the workflow automation, which is where a lot of the money can be saved or made. Okay, professional services, the finishing integration, and obviously business development. When you have this new technology, how are you going to go and sell it to other customers or your customers? How are you going to sell them the benefits of inkjet that technology bring to their business? Okay, and this is where Xerox can help you with the business development side of things. And obviously, why Xerox? We will give you a dedicated point of contact, escalation, tenure, etc. Okay, and that becomes more relevant when we're actually talking about to customers itself. And ongoing protection. So all our solutions are scalable. Okay, so you can get speed upgrades, you can get media range extensions. So you could start with a very small, very low entry point of installation at a low cost of entry. And then as your business grows, as your business develops, you can start getting speed upgrades, you can get media extensions and automation, etc. is required. Okay. And how do you put it together? So if you already have offset, if you already have CMYK, if you already have other inkjet, or if you already have omnichannel, if you already have offset, blend personalization into your static documents to get better economics, get better revenue, get better return from your customers. Okay, if you have CMYK plus, start making better books. So do the book block on inkjet, and then the cover, make it really nice and colorful with different colors, CMYK plus, gold, silver, white, clear toner, etc., and make a nice attractive cover with that. On the inkjet side, if you already have inkjet, try to right size. So if you have a smaller inkjet, try and buy a bigger press, etc., and just make sure that this little press is used for backup or for spoils, etc. And with omnichannel, start individualizing and personalizing and merging physical with digital. Okay. One of the things we're very proud of is our success is based on sustainability, and our presses are 65%. They run at 65% less power than any other competitors. Okay, we're around 90% of our inkjet presses can be recycled, and obviously because the presses are so much smaller than everybody else's, we can have less energy consumption, etc. Okay. So automate your workflow, expand your business, we talked about, and invest with confidence. And that's me. So any questions? And I'm done. That's me for now.